Hello, this is David Duke. It seems every time I'm on a talk show and I bring up the subject of Jewish media influence, you would think that somebody let out a loud one in church. What is the truth on this matter? Do Jews control the mass media in America? Abe Foxman is head of the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith, the ADL. He says that the allegation that Jews own or control the media is an anti-Semitic canard. Here's a direct quote from the ADL website. The assertion that Jews control Hollywood, the media, banking and finance, among other things, is an anti-Semitic canard. Well, I do say that Jews control most of the American media. So who's lying? Is it me or is it Foxman? What are the cold, hard facts? You know, you don't need to believe a word I say. I will let a well-known Jewish journalist at the Los Angeles Times speak for me. You see, Jewish columnist Joel Stein just couldn't keep his mouth shut. Some Jews have so much chutzpah, they just can't help but tell us how wonderful they are. Stein's article is called How Jewish is Hollywood? Its date is December 19, 2008. Check it out. Stein talks of a new opinion poll by Foxman and the ADL that shows only 22% of the American people now believe that the movie and television industries are pretty much owned by Jews. Mr. Stein thinks it's crazy that so few Americans believe that Jews control the media. He says it, quote, shows how dumb America has gotten. Because he says, quote, Jews totally run Hollywood. His next paragraph is worth quoting every word. How deeply Jewish is Hollywood? When the studio chiefs took out a full-page ad in the Los Angeles Times a few weeks ago to demand that the Screen Actors Guild settle its contract. The open letter was signed by News Corp President Peter Chernin, Jewish. Paramount Pictures Chairman Brad Grey, Jewish. Walt Disney Company Chief Executive Robert Iger, Jewish. Sony Pictures Chairman Michael Lynton, surprise, Dutch Jew. Warner Brothers Chairman Barry Meyer, Jewish. CBS Corp Chief Executive Leslie Moonves, so Jewish his great uncle was the first Prime Minister of Israel. MGM Chairman Harry Sloan, Jewish. And NBC Universal Chief Executive Jeff Zucker, mega Jewish. If either of the Weinstein brothers had signed, this group would have not only the power to shut down all film production, but to form a minyan with enough Fiji water on hand to fill a mikvah. He goes on to write, quote, the person they were yelling at in that ad was SAG President Alan Rosenberg. Take a guess. The scathing rebuttal to the ad was written by entertainment super agent Ari Emanuel, a Jew with Israeli parents. So, my friends, who lied? Was it me or was it Foxman? In actual fact, Stein simply admitted what everyone who knows anything about the media knows. It is the gorilla in the room that nobody dares mention. But sometimes, someone can't help but blurt it out. But still, the lies go on and on. If a Gentile said what Stein said, his head would have been served on a platter. What Stein didn't point out is that every one of the Jewish media moguls he mentioned is a big supporter of supremacist Israel and of Jewish causes. He didn't point out that Jewish extremists in key government and media positions effectively made up the weapons of mass destruction lie and led us into a disastrous war with Iraq. And now they're working for an insane, catastrophic war with Iran. A very courageous Jew, Philip Weiss, points out that the enormous Jewish power has real consequences. He quotes the New York Times along with Jewish publisher Norman Podhoretz in saying that even left-wing Jews are passionate supporters of Israel. Foxman may call it a canard, but radical Jews do have enormous political and financial clout. But perhaps the most important power they have is the ability to influence us through the media. Neil Gabler's book on the media, Hollywood, sums it up in the title. It's called An Empire of Their Own. But the internet is democratizing media. Lies such as Abe Foxman's of the ADL can now be exposed, as those lies have been exposed in this video. The Jewish media and the Jewish hate mongers like Abe Foxman have tried to demonize me and anyone else who wants an honest media and a foreign policy in the interest of the American people, not a foreign power. To show you how the media does not represent the views of the people, look at my political career in Louisiana. The people who knew me best voted for me in landslides, even though I was outspent in media 100-to-1 and had the entire media establishment attacking me. Over 65% of the European Americans voted for me to be their United States Senator. Over 60% chose me to be their governor. While I carried the highest educated districts of Louisiana, my opponent carried the highest crime districts of Louisiana. By reading about me in the media, you'd think nobody liked me. Nobody respected me. Hearing me for yourself, you now know why the media and special interest money opposes me and opposes any American who wants an honest media. Anyone who stands up against them will be demonized. I hope you will join with me in the fight for honest media, a media that promotes the highest values, that promotes peace rather than endless war for Israel, promotes health and an ennoblement of our people, not the sick degeneration of Hollywood and the lies of the mass media. Finally, an alternative media is rising. You are watching it right now. The truth will prevail. Now you know one part of the Zionist matrix of power in America. You know who controls the mass media. There's a lot more to learn if you are to be truly free.